Hello, I'm back, and welcome back to Ecocentric. People who grow their own gardens, they have various reasons for doing so, and I have various reasons. The lettuce and other leafy greens that I've been growing, I've been wanting to have more salads. And of course, when I done the harvest, now I have carrots, rutabaga. There are some vegetables that I like to eat raw, but I like to have a little dip to go with them. So even with the regular lettuce-based salad, I like to have a little thicker dressing. But of course, when you cut up carrots into sticks, then you want something thick to actually use as a dip. Occasionally, I have bought Catalina dressing. I haven't really learned to make my own vegetable dip yet. So I was in the store, this was the middle of October, and no Catalina dressing there. So I picked up some Caesar salad dressing. Well, it wasn't long. A few days later, I started having what we call auroras. That is the feeling that you get in your head. It can be up to 24 hours before a seizure. I don't think I had any seizures, but that's just because I'm on medication for that. And then hypertension ramped up as the time went on. Shoulder pain, elbow pain, tension headaches, nausea, diarrhea, hip pain, knee pain, chest pain. The painkillers weren't working. All I could do is lay in bed and try to will away the pain. And some of those days were nice, beautiful, sunny days, but I couldn't get out and do anything. And I thought about it. I said, that's probably that Caesar dressing. If I'm right, then from this point, not eat any more of it. It should wear off, and Wednesday, November the 1st, I should be okay. Tuesday, I spent half the day in bed. Wednesday came around, sure enough, I was okay. A little bit of couple bouts last couple of days, but nothing serious. But before that was over, man, I was feeling fit to be shot. I don't know if I'm the only one that way. You can leave a comment if you have any reactions like that to the commercial food system. I'm not allergic to a food ingredient. Like if you were to say corn or rutabaga or peanuts or something like that. It's something the industrial food system does to the food that they think they have to do to get it to you looking and tasting and feeling just right. So I haven't gotten things done, and as you can see, the leaves are still all laying around the ground. I did do a few things, but before the snow gets burying the ground, I just want to take you for a walk around the property here now, and we'll look at things. Take two. Yesterday, the wind was causing too much noise. I could see on the screen that I was getting a lot of noise, and then when I went to edit it, I said, oh, forget that, I've got to redo this video. But I had a new tripod that I just showed you, and I could take the center out and use it as a selfie stick, and I could, there's the leveling bubbles on it, so I can make it level. So with the camera being held level, you can see now this is the slope of the land here, just between the house, the garden and the house. And as I said, I'll take you for a little walk. Now we'll just go and we'll explore the old property, since the garden is done. I got another 1 gallon of grapes off of these grapevines. I still miss some, but I said I'll leave them for the birds and the bugs. I tried to keep the camera level, but I don't always succeed because, of course, I can't be always looking at that but little bubble, right? It was good to let stuff grow up here. You can see, I can see now how big a patch of oregano I have, and the spearmint, the chives. I'll have to dig them up and separate them and pick all the weeds out of them and put them back into prepared ground to make them useful. There's another plant around here that gives a really strong smell, and I couldn't find it, so I don't know if I'll be able to find it next year or not. I think there's a little bit of lemon balm, and I thought there was a couple of other herbs, but I didn't find them, so oh well, it is what it is. Due to me being sick, see, I didn't even get the mow this year, but I did get the hedge trimmer out and cut down the tomato plants. The lilac still has its leaves. Sunnier today, so it's harder for me to see the screen, but I can see it, and it doesn't look like it's having sound issues. I got some more mulch put around the snowball bush, and as I said before, the bugs didn't come back, see? So we'll cross our fingers and hopefully that is a good sign. I didn't get the finish off here, so this bed is not finished being covered. I did get to mow some and cover up this bed. And the next little bit now, I'll have to use the whole footage, so it's going to be noisy here for just a little bit. I have some things to do later today, but we'll do a little walk around first. One of these, see, the potato's dead now. We had a minus 4.5 Celsius. It was our coldest temperature. That was 2 or 3 nights ago. And so I had that one plant I just zoomed in on, and there's a couple plants near. I gotta dig through this and see what potatoes are there. Out here, I found a patch, and I still can't remember the name of it. But it's that one, they say grow your own toilet paper. It's got a big tall yellow flower spike on it and big soft leaves. I found a wild patch of it, so I brought the dead flowers and I sprinkled seed in among this area. So they might come up there next year, we shall see. I think they grow, they're a perennial, I think, so, and they grow slowly, so we might not see them next year. It might be a couple of years before we actually get to see them. Lots of leaves, and if we do get a dry day and there's, like if this dries out again, then I'll take the lawnmower and vacuum these up and put them on the beds, right? That's the robin's nest that was here. I'm going to leave that nest there and see if a robin comes back and uses it again next year. I don't think they use the same nest every year, but I don't know. This is another thing, the leaves are dying back. I want to dig in here and see what tubers are there. take some up, and I'll probably put 20 back here because I don't have it prepared up there. I'll just put 20 tubers back here and let that grow just in that patch again next year. Then we can continue on. I did leave some berries on this bush, and every year I leave berries on it for the birds, and most years a lot of them are left, but looks like most of them have been taken this year. There was a little bird just landed on that pile there. I don't know if he's using it or not. Before the frost started, I covered these, and we were not having growing temperatures, so I was like, well, I'll just leave them covered. And that way all the goodness of the plant could go back into the tuber. See a tuber right there, see that? That's sunburn, but don't think that matters because for the most part, what tubers I'm going to get out of there, I'm going to be saving them for seed for next year. That's the little damson there. He hasn't lost his leaves yet, surprise, surprise. Yeah, this is what it's looking like. Of course, it's November the 5th now. I found seaberry to be one of the last to lose its leaves. I can take these leaves for a tea now if I want. But there are bushes still hanging on because of the aforementioned illness. I didn't get to cover the potato beds here, and also I wanted to finish the hen-house bedding around some bits of the strawberry patch. Oh, I haven't picked any of these, but there's a lot of seed here, and we know it's Littlefinger, so I should come out and harvest the seed for these carrots. I harvested the rest of the carrots that were here in among the squash plant. I think it was like something like 1.2 kilograms. So that's alright. Most of them were small, but there was some nice ones there as well. Of course, the Cosmos now, they're all gone. Lettuce, yesterday when I was out there, everything was covered in snow, but snow is gone now, and you see the lettuce is still looking nice, eh? So if I can figure out how to make a good salad dressing, I can still come out and get some lettuce and make myself a nice salad. Some beds are pretty much covered just because, like the beans, of course, you just throw the plants back on and your bed's covered anyway. Same thing goes for the potatoes, but there's a wide space. Yeah, I would have liked to have been able to get out and do the mowing and just give the beds a full nice covering. The kohlrabi that were here, they were there all summer, and I thought for sure they would have been gone fibrous and hard, eh? They were getting to the size to be picked, and I picked them, peeled them. No, they were delicious. Great. The kale, as you can see, is still good, and I could add that to my salad. I really got to get on to learning to make good salad dressings. I harvested these, I think it was 2.8 kilograms I got of rutabaga out of here. I don't remember. But one day, one of those sunny days I mentioned, I come out and I tried to mow up some, and I just got this bed done here. And that was all I could do. I had to go in again. The herb beds are still looking nice. I had them cut down with the hedge trimmer, and I wanted to come out and get some of this stuff and dehydrate it, but that didn't come to fruition. Apple tree still has apples. So you see all those apples up there? Maybe if I zoom in. The year I got like 800 pounds of apples. I got probably twice as many apples off of this tree as I got this year. But still, this year's an awful lot of apples. And I made that apple pie flavored bread, and it's so delicious. So what I'm thinking about is that I should come out and pick up the rest of these apples that have fallen. They've had some frost, so I don't know how it will work, but I'll peel them off and make batches, freeze it in 6-cup batches, so that I can, next time I make bread, I can make another batch like I did last time. Never done anything with the raspberry patches. Woe is me. Let's go for a walk up across now. This is up in the forestry area. See, this is one of the main reasons why I bought the hedge trimmer in all kinds of uneven terrain, and that if the vegetation is here a bit hard at all, you can control it with the hedge trimmer. And I should have been keeping that cut back all summer. I don't think that would have protected the hens, mind you, but still, it would have been nicer to have that kept cut down the entire summer. Community center had a bonfire, and I had some newly cut down trees, so there was a whole lot of boughs out here. Kind of a good thing I did have them, a whole lot of boughs, because they didn't have the stuff collected for a bonfire, but it's tradition here to this time of year. You get a whole bunch of boughs from spruce and fir, and they have a big fire. So we got 2 big trailers and 2 quads, came up 3 trips, I believe it was, brought down, and they had a big huge pile then for their bonfire. I only took down the ones with green needles on it because the ones with the green on it makes all that popply crackly noise and sparks that is part of the fun of having a bonfire, right? There's still some with green on, but for the most part, all of the branches with green on there is gone now. So it's great benefit for the community, and it was also great benefit for me because for the most part there's still lots of branches around here that I got to pick out, but I can just walk on across it now, and it's almost ready for me to just pick up the firewood that I have left laying around here and bring it down. Those branches there, that's birch. They're going to be all used. Anything this size, I'll make this into firewood. Just cut it up into lengths and use it as sticks of firewood. But I'm also thinking about taking this, you see this is a dead branch from lower down on the tree, and cutting that up into 14-inch lengths and using it for fire starter. I have a place in the shed I could put in quite a bit of fire starter. So coming down to right there, I want to make a trail that goes in and comes down through there, and it'll come all the way down. I have to cut that tree, that stump down as low as I can. And I'll see about, there's a couple of trees there. If I can dig them up and transplant them, it would be nice. But if not, I guess they'll have to be collateral damage. There's another stump right there. But coming out across here, so remember the roadway that used to come up here. I mentioned in quite a few videos ago now, and those two big trees would not have been there. Now, this one looks fairly healthy. And I don't want to remove that double one down there. What I want to do is make a trail that goes out here. So just cut off the lower branches so that I can, wide enough for the quad to come through. And you see, then I end up out here so that I can service this area with the quad, because I can't drive the quad across a ditch that comes out from the well. There's not a whole lot to do here right now, but that big tree right there, and there's a part of a tree at the base. It was a big tree at one point, but the top was cut off. So it's just a part of a tree. Those two I want to remove, and I'll have to hook on to them with the winch on the quad to get them down safely. But at any other point, if I'm doing something that requires a lot of pulling power or carrying volume at once, then I can come here with the quad from down through here. So all is well when, if I can keep my health and strength, we'll get this cleaned up, and then we'll be able to look. We might have to wait until the snow melts again now, like in April or May, to see what trees that nature has already growing for me. Cut these down. These are to use down around the raspberry cages, eh? See, I have 3 spruce. I think that dark one's a cherry. It may or may not be usable down there, but the spruce are okay. I'll take them, I'll cut them in lengths with the saw, and then I'll split them with the table saw. Awfully quiet here today. You see, this will be the main trail for this, servicing this flat and over by the apple tree on the cliff. Just to come in here, I don't think I'll need a trail here. I might put one straight back through. There used to be one straight back through there. And so I might have one, I might not. We just see. Like I say, to do this, I have to kind of go back in a band and then just replant everything and see how I'm tending to it as everything grows up again, right? This apple tree over here, I never took any apples from this before, But it did have a few apples higher up, which I showed you earlier in the year, and they blew down. So I came and picked them up. It was 8 kilograms. This one had gotten by the bugs. This is mostly what they were like, except for there was very few of these spots on them, eh? But a bird bit into that one. So they were a little bit bigger than this for the most part, and mostly spot-free perfect apples. They're a soft texture and kind of a medium sweetness, so anybody who don't like that crunchy tardiness of a lot of apples would probably like those. And also for applesauce and apple butter, perfect apple for that. If you remember, this is where I put the black locust. This one here grew well and never got touched by anything. So it's losing its leaves now. And you see, this is one leaf. But then they've got little leaflets. So on the tree, the leaf actually starts back here by these two thorns here, and that's really the entire leaf with a bunch of leaflets. That's how a lot of the nitrogen fixing trees grow. That one got damaged by an animal, but I'm pretty certain that it'll come back just fine next year. This one got chewed back, looking like for a moose. It's still alive, and it depends on whether said moose keeps cutting it down or no. This one here wasn't touched, so I'm assuming it was a moose that came up across there and turned and went up there. So for the first year growing, it looks like the black locust is going to do well. No point really in walking out through there. The mulberries have all lost their leaves now, and you can't really see the little sticks sticking up there when I point the camera at them. I can come in close here and you see that. So that Osage orange did very well this year. There's another one over there that grew. It's a smaller one. All in all, there was 5 Osage orange per side, I think, that was very healthy this year. Some of them were still small, and so there's what that looks like out there now where the mulberries are. It's just mulberries out there right now that I planted. And that's a funny thing. 20 odd years ago there was some oats planted here, and every year just a few of these grow up. In right there, there's 2 Osage orange that's like 2 feet tall or more. And now we'll walk out the roadway here. You see all the little trees growing up, eh? When I cut down these old ones, that'll just give these light. This is the north side. So cut down these old ones that are not growing anymore at all, and that'll give these more room to grow up. There's not actually much side material on these. So, but it'll be good for a habitat pile, or if I want to chip them up, I could just take them and just run them through the chipper, just like they are, the branches I mean. So back behind us, back when it was harder to get supplies in and out, everybody grew their own vegetables, what they thought they could grow, and that area was cleared. It's kind of harder to see it on the camera here, but there's an embankment right there. Let's see, a little bit further down. It's right here. So embankment there, and it runs up through there. So anything back that way was once totally cleared, and they grew like potatoes and rutabaga and beets and that kind of thing, eh? What's really funny is that, I don't know if you can tell, but you see there's almost a straight open area there, and it continues on down that way. That was the fence line they put just outside of the boundary, what they cleared, and it never grew up again. Like, almost makes you think they sprayed it with something. I think back there, I don't know if we can zoom in and see. No, I think I see a bit of the fence back there. But if you look up higher, you see that yellowish right here. That yellowish tree right there, that of our native trees is the most rot resistant tree we have. It's a tamarack larch. Locally they call it juniper. There's also another one right here. But during most of the year they blend in with the spruce and the fir. This time of year you get to see just how many of them are around. I was thinking earlier that maybe I'd go and find some little seedlings where there's a thick grove and bring them back for variety's sake on the property, right? But then I got walking out around here a couple of days ago and I realized that they're everywhere. There's another one there. There was a couple of small ones here somewhere. Sun's in my eyes right now. But I wanted to show you. I'm going to have to go back up further because we can't see it. But out in the bog, you see, there's a couple there. There's like 6 of them right there. And all up across. They'll grow much slower on the bog, of course. There's a couple of ugly ones down right there that I may or may not take down and use because, like I said, they're very rot resistant. And that one there that has almost nothing on it now, that's also a tamarack larch. But let's go back up further. You see that line of yellow there? That's all tamarack larch, locally known as juniper. They can grow fairly fast given the right conditions. I think they're only maybe 25 years old. It was colder and mostly snow covered when I came out here yesterday, but like I said, the noise in the mic was so bad that I decided, no, I'm going to redo it. Oh, I gotta switch hands. Daddy arm is getting tired. So we're a little closer now. If I were to zoom in, you can see there's a lot of little larch growing on the bog, but they'll grow slowly. And okay, so there's a spruce, black spruce there, but then we've got a larch, and then there's that ugly one that I showed you earlier. Beautiful clear sky today. Gonna check, see this is a rabbit lead here, eh? It's used every year. If we have the right amount of snow, I might be able to catch a rabbit or two. I don't have enough larch to want to cut down any. There's a couple out there in the bog, just ugly looking ones I might cut down, but for the most part, I don't have enough to say cut them down. This is one of the reasons I want to come out here. You see the rabbit tracks? There's a lead going right up and under that tree right there. So now we're out to the cabin road, and this is on the north edge of the property, right? The original property line, that larch right there, would have been on the property line. So now with respect to getting stuff for the raspberry patch and that, as I was coming out here, there's a whole bunch of little spindly black spruce here, you see. So that's the plan. I'll come here and I'll take these and bring them back to make the raspberry cages next year. I don't make promises. That's just the plans. But yeah, no shortage of larch, so I don't have to bring any seedlings back for that. I might at some point just try growing them, getting the seeds out from their cones, and try growing them like I'm trying to learn to grow any other tree from seed, right? Now coming down here, let's see if I can, this is where I really messed up yesterday, but I should be able to do this right today. Okay, here we are. So that post right there, that's one on the property line post. But I have to go up a little bit further to look right down the line. Okay, so we go in here. Now we might be able to do it. So it gets quite compressed, but you can see post number 1. And then there in the distance, post number 2. So that further one is the post on the far corner. Then we got the cabin line, and in right there somewhere there should be a survey peg. They have a tendency to disappear. So there we walk back to the back end of the property. On this side, as you can see, the bog comes right up to the north side of it, so kind of kitty corner across the back end is 3 acres of bog. We'll walk back to Cabin Road now so far. That's the road we came out. Another little larch right there, close to the road, so I don't know if he'll be able to grow up or will he get cut down. Most of this, what you see here now, is black spruce. I think that taller one might be a white spruce, I'm not sure. Now what would be nice is that if I can cut and have a line of spruce a few feet in from the road, and then 3 or 4 feet in from that I have another line, and all the branches I stack in between the two to make what they call a dead edge. But I'd have living post in my dead edge. Habitat edge is another name for it. So for all the insects and small mammals and that, right? Kind of keeps, doesn't keep large mammals out as such, but it encourages them to stay out, just take another route around, sort of a deal. And makes, like I said, habitat for the small mammals. Somebody trust me, eh? They got the firewood placed right on my property. Probably knows whose property they're placing it on, so, and he knows I won't touch it even if it was 10 cords there. Cut short, when they used to cut pulpwood for the mill, that's the length they used to cut it. So back when we were children, we used to come out here and visit our grandparents, and this trail right here, pretty much if it was during the summer or what, we would come out this trail, and it went right up to the top of Canoe Hill. We always enjoyed coming out this trail. There is a fairy ring fungus here, but there's no mushrooms growing now. Beautiful little spot to come and meditate, eh? Well, that is the embankment that I was telling you about earlier. Right here, this trail is slowly growing in, but due to the number of human footprints, it's taking a very long time to actually cover in. Now coming back here, you see, so there's the embankment. You see all these little holes and the remains of the cones from spruce trees all around. So I'm assuming it's squirrels. They have their home made in this embankment. So in this area anyway, all through here, I would assume there's tunnels made by the squirrels, and that's their home for the winter. So now we're back out to where the mulberries were first planted. Of course, they all have their leaves gone now. There's one of the red mulberries there. He keeps growing like he's growing. He'll be a big tree before very long. All the birch trees and aspen, they've all got their leaves dropped now. So we have returned just to go down the hill to the house now. It's a little walkabout around the entire property, just another little explore. I want to try getting more interesting explorers in. Of course, I've got to make sure the sound is right. But I hope you enjoyed the walkabout with me. And I shall see you in the next video.